there, Tielshans. Welcome back to my channel for another insightful episode. This is a special episode on CPF. Why? Because on the 16th of February, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Mr. Lawrence Wong, actually gave the budget speech. And something has changed in our CPF, which is the SA account. There is going to be a closure for special accounts for members aged 55 and above. So the next question that pops up would be, what are the implications? Be it you are above 55, going to be 55, or below 55. So today we have Felix with us again, and he's going to explain to us what this is about, how it's going to impact the different age group, and maybe what you can do about it. Okay? So Felix, thank you for joining us again.
Hi.
Yeah, hello. So maybe before we start, probably you can let us know, what do we mean by, or what does it mean by the closure of this special account at the age of 55 years old? Is it going to be a case that, oh lama, my money is going to be gone?
Well, okay, so very quickly, if we look at the setup of our CPF from day one, right? So we have ordinary, special, and Medisave account. So Medisave, the role is very clear. It's meant to build up funds for medical expenses and of course, resource also to pay for our healthcare insurances like MediShield Life, integrated shield plans for ourselves, our family, and at the same time also to fund for the premiums for like CareShield Life, ElderShield.
Yes.
Right? And at some point in time, as the basic healthcare sum goes up, and when we retire, there'll be a reasonable pool of money to generate sufficient interest that can help to fund the premiums of these schemes even when I'm retired. So that is a very clear-cut rule. For special account, it is from day one meant to accumulate funds for retirement, to meet the full retirement sum, and of course, in many instances as well, depending on our income, also to meet the enhanced retirement sum. So that happens, which is why you'll find that throughout all the way to 55, generally, our contributions go in, it doesn't come out unless we use it for selected investments like investing in collective investment schemes such as unit trust funds or investment policies, right? So then for ordinary account, it's primarily, yes, it's for retirement as well, but for a lot of us, we use it to fund for our property, our housing.
Yes.
So of course, it is also not uncommon to see many people, many members use all of their CPF ordinary account money to fund for their money loans with little left behind every month. So much so that at some point there was this talk about, wow, all the money used for housing, no money for retirement, right? But the truth of the matter is that in many simulations I've done, as it is the special account, it's adequate actually to meet the full retirement sum today.
Yes.
So when we hit the magical age of 55, then that is where the special account would have completed its basic role, its basic objective, because that is the point in which it kind of like hands over the money to the retirement account, which is the fourth account that we have when we turn 55, because it receives the full retirement sum. So for example, this year, the full retirement sum is 205,800 dollars, and of course it's increasing, and it will continue to increase at 3.5% for the next 2 years. So once that happens, in essence, the main objective of the account is actually fulfilled. And for those who feel that they want more, then that is where they can decide whether to do an inter-account transfer, to transfer more of their special and ordinary account into the retirement account, to beef it up to the enhanced retirement sum so that they have more CPF life income in future. Okay. Now, but of course, if we look at a bit of history, right, for many, many years, many of us would have used our CPF special account to do some investments. And what happens that when you hit 55, because the money has been invested and there may be insufficient balance to meet the full retirement sum. Because that's essential, right? Because when you don't have sufficient sum to meet the full retirement sum, what will happen is that then we lose compounding, because money from special account that goes to retirement account collects what we call a 4.08% interest today, right? So then therefore, the long-standing practice has always been, if there's any shortfall in the special, the difference is taken from the ordinary, and then of course the full sum is met, and then that's where we have our full retirement sum. So along the way, as people got more and more interested in our CPF, right, some discovered that, hey, I can actually pull my CPF special account balance out right? Have it invested in something for the entire amount, okay, except the first 40,000. Have it invested so that when I turn 55, the shortfall will actually be taken from the ordinary, and then placed into retirement account, and subsequently I sell my investments, put it back to the special account, so that I would kind of like, through some engineering, I would have
both at 4%.
more money in the special account and retirement account, collecting the same interest, but my special account is very liquid.
Yes.
Right?
Maybe to put in context, ordinary account only gives like 2.5%. Special account, retirement account is about
4.08.
probably slightly over 4%. Okay, so let's take it as like 4%. So you can actually, from the 2.5%, now go over to become 4%. So this is what Felix is talking about, that those with sufficient funds are actually doing so, or have been doing so in the past.
Right. So with a change, with the announcement, effectively this loophole has been closed, right? So once we turn 55, it becomes a case where, yes, we have our retirement account to receive our full retirement sum, but at the same time, since the special account has fulfilled its function, has fulfilled its role, the account will be closed, and the spare money that is sitting in the excess funds that is sitting in the special account will be returned, will be transferred to the ordinary account. Okay, and of course for members who, which I am a member as well, like everyone else, right? Every Singaporean PR. If I love the interest that retirement account is paying me, and I love the CPF LIFE scheme, then that is where I can decide to voluntarily move more of my ordinary account money and have it transferred directly to the retirement account, so that I can enjoy the new raised limit, which is 4 times of the basic retirement sum, okay, which is currently at 3 times. I can then put more money into the retirement account to have a larger CPF Life income when I turn 65. Right? So that is an option that's available. But of course, there are trade-offs, because if you are used to the fact that special account, if I have through CPF SA shielding, which has been quite well known online and offline for quite a while, it paid 408, but it's very liquid. And right now, what happens that by transferring to retirement account, obviously I will not see this money in a lump sum, okay, but rather it will come out in the form of in the form of what we call a lifelong stream of income when I turn 65 onwards, in the form of CPF Life. So it is there will always be some difference. Then that is where I can decide whether do I want to participate in the new 4 times enhanced retirement sum, or do I feel that my ordinary account, I would like to put it into something else instead.
So the next question would be, if I decide to, say from OA, so now the SA, let's say when I reach 55, all the amount in SA now goes to the RA, okay, and I can still top up, because now it's like 4 times, right? So which means if I still have money in OA, I put it to RA, okay, to make it like full 4 times of the full sum, right? So can I take it up, like the one that I top up, those money that I top up?
Okay, so when we do our voluntary contribution in the form of enhanced retirement sum, right? So once I do the top up, it is a voluntary top up, so it is in itself not, it is irreversible. Right? So once I make a decision to top up, it becomes what we call a reserve amount. Right? So it is not reversible. So therefore, when I make a decision that I want to do a top up, it is a decision that I'm going to evaluate to be sure that it is a liquidity that I don't need in the foreseeable future, and in exchange, I receive what we call the promise of a peace of mind with a lifelong income.
Right? So please take note when you want to make the decision. Don't think that, oh, it is going to be 4%. Straight away jump into it. Everybody loves it. Okay, then after that, a few years down the road, then you start to realize, oh, I thought I can actually take out something similar like SA. No, it's not going to be that case. So there's actually a trade-off, like what Felix is saying. There's liquidity. You won't enjoy the high interest rate. If you want the high interest rate, then you have to forego the liquidity. So if for those who, let's say, do not have sufficient money, let's say in the SA to RA, any recommendation what they can do to boost up, like the RA amount to enjoy the 4%?
Right. Now, so the good thing about what good has come out of this is this, because under the all along, if we want to invest our CPF, right, in essence, we do it through what we call the CPF Investment Scheme, right? And for special account money, if we do, there are actually very limited options, because the highest risk that we can go is to invest in what we call medium to high risk classified funds, which in my own terminology, or in my own words, I call it as the 3 out of 4. Right? So one is lower risk, 2 is low to medium, 3 is medium to high risk, level 4 is what we call higher risk. Right? Higher risk typically will be funds investing in equity, right? While medium to high risk tend to be what we call funds investing in bonds and equity, or what we call multi-asset funds. But then again, because the special account interest is good interest over 4% all along, and therefore you will find that there are just a handful of medium to high risk funds that can have a very good track record of really beating at 4%, right? So the odds are not exactly that high.
Yes.
But the day will come when we turn 55 and then the special is closed and then the money is returned to ordinary account. So depending on if there's any other changes that may arise out of the CPF investment scheme by then, right? What will happen here is that then you find that if I choose to leave the money in the CPF OA, there would probably be wider choice of tools that I can actually invest my CPF ordinary account funds. At least I can also explore, like for example, shares, right?
Yes.
I can also explore funds that is higher risk funds that is included in the CPF investment scheme.
Okay.
So that is actually the one bright side of things. Of course, if I think that I'm adventurous enough to venture into investments beyond the CPF investment scheme, then of course there's always the option to draw them out and decide what I want to put the money into.
We can always draw the money after 55 years old from the OA.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this is the thing, probably if you don't have enough money, after 55 years old, probably this is an option that you may think that you would want to draw it out. But always have to remember that it's drawing out versus putting in at 2.5%. Or probably some of you who are savvy in terms of investing, you can use the OA account to actually go into CPF investment scheme where you can use it to still buy shares. Even after 55 years old, we can use that to buy shares?
Yeah, the CPF investment scheme, it's evergreen,
Oh,
right? So
that's
long
great.
as we meet the withdrawal, the CPF withdrawal limits guideline,
Okay.
we can always do so.
And is it still subjected to that 35% after you need to have that 20% in your OA before you can invest, and then you can maximum invest only 35%? Does that rule still apply?
Yes, correct. At this point of time, I have not heard of any announcements relating to this change,
Okay.
right? Because what happens is that by then, in reality, right, having met the a full retirement sum, have the money stashed away, then of course it becomes a question of whether the limitations, given that I can actually take out as cash, whether how meaningful it is, of course it is debatable.
Yeah. So have to really decide for yourself. Any impact or any things that's going to be different whether now I'm above 55 years old about this policy versus those who's not 55 years old yet?
I mean, if we look at it, because the special account, or rather the retirement account is created at 55, right? So the reality is actually before 55, in essence, there's no material difference to everyone, right?
Okay.
We can still do our part to contribute, contribute proactively through the various schemes like through our voluntary top-ups, right? To our special account. On a voluntary basis to speed up its growth, to enjoy the compounding so as to meet the full retirement sum earlier than later.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask a personal question. Felix, before this, it was 3 times. So have you top up to the max in your SA?
Myself, I am not there yet.
Okay.
I'm not there yet because what happens is that we can only top up to ERS, right?
Enhanced retirement, yes.
Enhanced retirement sum after 55.
Okay.
So you'll find that before 55, it is the
You can only
full
top up
retirement
to
sum.
full retirement sum.
We can only
yes.
top up full retirement sum.
Yes.
Then any further growth in the balance,
Yep.
it will be through what we call our routine, our monthly regular contributions.
Yes.
Right? So I can't top up to the enhanced
I
retirement
see,
sum.
okay.
So I can only do so after 55 by
yeah.
topping up to the retirement account.
So will you do that?
Right? In due course, I would because
Okay.
let's put it this way. In life, we have when it comes to money, there will always be challenges. Right? So, for instance, if we are still building our wealth, and what happens is that we run out of time. Okay, meaning something happens to us along the way. It could be dying the wrong time, disability. yeah, we have a problem because our families will have a problem, right? Because I've not built up the wealth to be financially free, and I lost my ability to generate income, right? So the others, of course, there can also be another scenario for which you have a problem, right? That is, if I'm still alive, all right, I run out of money.
Yes.
I also have a problem. Okay, so therefore, schemes like CPF LIFE addresses a very basic, fundamental worry. That is, so long as I'm alive and breathing, all right, I'll have an income.
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't matter whether I've already depleted my premium.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So long as I'm alive, I'm breathing, even in a comatose or bedridden, I still have an income, right? So therefore, to me, that is something very basic.
Yeah.
And it's also something that I always encourage the people that I meet, my peers, friends, that it is good to use it as a foundation.
Yep. So this is Felix's personal opinion, whether he's going to top up, and whether you want to top up, don't want to top up. Of course, these are all individuals' decision, and it's based on, at a point of time, what do we want in our life, and of course, the dependents whom we have, and how much, the kind of lifestyle we want to lead. So this is really a very personal decision, whether you want to top it up to 3 times, 4 times in terms of the enhanced retirement sum.
Okay. So one observation I had when it comes to the online chatter, or for that matter, maybe casual conversations, quite a number of members are pretty upset by the abrupt change, the very sudden change, right? But of course, for me, being a CPF member myself, right, I would recall from memory that historically when we actually migrate from, let's say, retirement sum scheme to the CPF LIFE scheme, generally those who are already in it, that means those who are already past 55,
Yes.
right, or approaching around the corner, this group tends to be left alone, okay? And then what happens is that there tend to be carrots, right, incentives to motivate and encourage participation.
Yeah, I remember the CPF LIFE, the time,
Yes.
from minimum, then all the way to this.
Correct. So there's always some motivation.
Yes.
But then, of course, more recently, like for example, migration from ElderShield to CareShield Life.
Yeah.
So similarly, for those who are not in it yet, okay, it comes in to say, okay, from 30 it's going to be compulsory. But for those who are already in it, like myself, I was already in it, there's always incentives to encourage, to say that, hey, it'll be good to participate, and here are some incentives, right? So those that were what we call some runway, some notice to allow what we call the transition. But to begin with, from my perspective, though that is actually that was a change in CPF policy, right? But in the case of CPF SA shielding, it was never a policy, all right? It's more like a loophole, right? So therefore, for this change to be announced, which of course took so many people by surprise, became possibly one of the hottest topics in town, right? I guess in itself, given that it was never a policy to begin with, it was more like what we call a swift action to kind of like correct certain things.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just my 2 cents worth of this.
Yes, right. So make your own decisions, and of course, if you want to find out more, it's always good to ask the CPF officers to find out more about the scheme. Okay. So as always, if you find that this content is helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on my channel. And remember, it's all about taking care of your body, mind, heart, and wallet for a happier and healthier you.